So we're going to look at chapter 2. Chapter two's title was Why Relationships Matter. And in the introduction, you can already pick why relationships matter, because it's all that makes a difference. It's all that makes a difference. That is what makes us to actualize. Without relationship, you cannot actualize. You cannot rise up to the occasion of life. You cannot actualize. You cannot rise up to you cannot evoke, you cannot come to the place of the highest expression of all that you are made to be without relationship. Right. Again, don't forget this relationship on different facets, right? Relationship with God, relationship with yourself, then relationship with others, right? And it starts in that order: relationship with God, or if you don't believe in God, something higher than you, right? Relationship in something higher than you, relationship in with yourself, and relationship with others, right? That's a sequence. We don't start with relationship with others. You cannot relate aright with others if you cannot relate aright with yourself or with someone higher than you, right? That's important. So we see this quote by Richard Paulson and Ralph Case. It says, the best ideas aren't hidden in shadowy recesses, right? And I love that. I listen to Jim Rohn, and Jim Rohn will talk about the how do you put it now? The obvious, right? The obvious. The same thing we talk about common sense, right? Common sense is not a sense that is not common. It's a sense that is common, but is overlooked or missed by people. Right? It's seeming so common that people overlook it. They despise it. Right? That's what common sense is. And common sense is wisdom. But people despise it because of its seeming commonality, its seeming obviousness, right? And Gibran says that if you can go to learn about how not to miss the obvious things, it will bring you a lot of wealth. It will make a difference in your life. It will make a difference in your bank account, right? If you can understand how to see and use the obvious, the things that we take for granted, because life is not difficult. Life is easy. Even you settle down. We miss life because we're too much in a hurry. We miss life because we're too much in a hurry. We miss the wisdom, the handwriting of God on the wall all around us, giving us signs, giving us direction, giving us signs, giving us direction to life. We miss it because we're too much in a hurry, right? Hurry has done us in, hurry has done us in. We call hurry the devil himself. The devil gets us so much in a hurry as if we're trying to catch up, but we miss the things we're supposed to use, supposed to take along with us to make a difference. We miss our armory. We get confused at the battleground, and we come back defeated. We come back tired. We come back used. We stay in the rat race because we're in a hurry, right? If only we'll settle down and think. If only we'll cool down and think. If only we'll give our mind to our ways, then we'll come out of the rat race. We'll come out as the champions that we're meant and made to be. We'll come out on top. We'll come out victorious in life. If only we'll cool down, give thought to our ways. It's not about the speed, it's about the direction. It's not about the speed, it's about the direction. First thing is the direction. Once the direction is right, then you can gain speed, but you have to first of all learn to crawl before you can walk. You have to learn to walk before you can run. You have to learn to run before you can fly, right? You're not going to fly in one day. You're not going to run in one day. You're not going to walk in one day, but you have to first of all start. You start little, then you gain momentum. You start little, then you gain momentum. You don't just speed out without thinking. You might be going in the wrong way, right? You might be in a hurry, but it might be in the wrong direction. You might spend a lot of hours, a lot of time, but achieve nothing because you're not doing the things you're supposed to do, because you're not doing the things that matter. You're not doing the things that move the needle, for your life, right? Those are important, so the Richard and Ralph, reemphasizes that to us, that we should not miss the obvious things. The things that are important are obvious, but we miss it because we're in a hurry. We miss it because we take it for granted. The popular story was told about two small fishes, swimming around, and the big fish came up to them and say, "How's the water today?" And they said, "What's that?" Water, water. They got it so used to water that they didn't know that they needed water for survival. They've taken the important things of life for granted. Don't we all? Don't we all? How about somebody coming to us and say, "How is the oxygen today?" You don't know that you are being held together by the oxygen you are breathing. You just have to not breathe for a certain period and you become a vegetable. How is your blood flowing today? You know that that is what's keeping you going. That's what's cleansing your body. That's what's cleansing your body. That's what's moving oxygen all around your body, and moving food all around your body, and keeping you in shape, keeping you in health, keeping your machine going. But we take it for granted. It's always flowing. Oh, until it stops flowing. Until it stops flowing, right? Let's not take the important things for granted, right? They might be common, but let's not commonize them, because they make a difference in our life. And that's where relationship comes also. Sometimes we take relationships for granted, that, oh, we take relationships for granted, right? But that makes a difference in our life. Like you can see, you've heard me talk about relationships so far. That makes a difference between success and failure in our lives, right? But we take them for granted because they are not shouting at us. We talked about those companies are no more in existence today. Blockbuster, uh, Kodak, those were great companies, but they did not take the important fundamentals. They did not put weight to the important fundamentals. They put their eyes on something else, right? The obvious things to them, they did not put energy to, and they missed it, and they lost out. People like Apple, right, have grown because they focus on the things that are important. They focus on their customers, right? They build for the future of their customers. They don't just stay with where their customers are, but they look at what their customers need, that the customer is not even aware that he or she needs, and they build for that. And that has made them $3 trillion companies, right? Nvidia recently broke through all of that, because it looked into the future. It built robotics, from building robotics, it's built AI system, that is making a difference for it. It's ahead in the AI business, and that's made it the most valued company right now on the New York Stock Exchange, and that can make a difference in your life also. There are opportunities all around. In my country here in Nigeria, people are just complaining. It's the government, it's Tinubu, it's this, but all of that is stupid, right? In the midst of all that seeming hardship, there are a lot of opportunities, right? Life is not going to give to you because you're complaining, because you're crying. Life will only reward you by the value you bring. It's a value you bring to the marketplace that you get paid for, not the complaining, not the crying, not the shouting, not the murmuring. Right? It's what you do that you get paid for. It's a value you bring. Right? In all of this seeming trouble, where can you add value? Where can you add value? Because there are a lot of opportunities shouting in the midst of this seeming hardship. If only you can see them, if only you can slow down and cool down and ask the right question. If only you can see that's obvious that is shouting at you, the obvious that is shouting at you. People are making millions, people are making billions in the same avenue, the same economy that others are complaining about. It's all about what you see. Again, that popular quote we say it's not what you're looking at, it's what you see. A lot of people are looking at the economy and they're only seeing lack. They are seeing difficulty. They are seeing hunger. And that's all that's going to bless you. That's all you see. But but other people are looking at it and they are seeing opportunities. They are seeing how to take positions, how to invest, how to meet the need around, and it's working for them. right? It's what you see that changes your life. It's not what you're looking at. Everybody's looking at the same thing, right? But it's what each person sees that makes a difference in their life. Whether it improves it or it denigrates it, is what you see, not what you're looking at.